The story starts here at this South Buffalo bar. 52-year-old Glenn Fallring finished up his shift at Republic Steel on March 19th and stopped here on his way home for a few drinks. They were the last drinks he'd ever have. Fallring of Springville and a South Buffalo couple were arrested here on minor charges following a disturbance. Seen here boating with his wife and a friend last summer, Fallring was taken to police headquarters where officers said he was unruly before and after he was booked on charges of resisting arrest and refusing the reasonable request of an officer. Attorney Kevin Dillon is filing a $2 million notice of claim against the police and the city of Buffalo on behalf of Fallring's widow and 5 children. The civil suit states, quote, "These unknown police officers struck and beat Glenn J. Fallring on his body and in the area of his face and head while he was in the custody of the City of Buffalo Police Department. The striking was not justified and was not caused by any form of provocation on the part of Glenn J. Fallring, nor was the striking done by the Buffalo police officers in self-defense," end quote. Attorney Dillon talked exclusively with Eyewitness News.
He was taken to the Erie County Medical Center on Grider Street. He died on April 17, 1980, approximately a month after the incident.
Was he conscious when he was taken to the medical center?
No. It is our understanding at this time that he was unconscious at the time that he was taken to the medical center, and he never regained consciousness prior to the time that he died.
Dillon also said he notified the DA's office of the death and said the police stated Fallring was injured when he fell out of his bunk. We tried to discuss the case with District Attorney Ed Cosgrove, but he only replied with his standard no comment. Police Commissioner James Cunningham could not be reached for comment on the Fallring death. The hospital autopsy lists the cause of death as a blood clot, but sources tell us the medical evidence is inconclusive as to whether or not the clot could have been caused by a beating. Fallring's widow believes her husband of nearly 30 years was beaten.
I do not believe he was in a fight. I believe that he was beaten. That's my own belief. I couldn't see why he would fight when he's confined. He might have asked to see an attorney or to make a call home or something, but...
Tomorrow, the notice of claim is expected to arrive here at City Hall, and the $2 million civil suit will begin to wind its way through the courts. But what about the criminal aspects of the case? Was Glenn Fallring's death an accident, or was it the result of a brutal beating in the police cell block? Both lawmen and Eyewitness News are looking for the answer to that question. John Pauly for Eyewitness News at City Hall.
News troubleshooter John Pauly has this report.
This is Grover Cleveland High School on Buffalo's west side. At 10 this morning, it was a scene of one of dozens of fire drills held throughout the year at city schools. The nearly 1,000 students enrolled here had little problems leaving today during a fire drill, but if it was a real thing, it looks like it'd be a different story. What you are seeing right now is a dangerous ritual performed daily in several of the city's schools. This woman has just chained and locked a fire exit at Grover. Hidden Eyewitness News cameras filmed 8 of the 10 fire exits locked at Grover during classes. School officials unlocked those doors for today's fire drill, but several first-floor windows remained nailed shut, and at least one other fire exit was boarded up. It was the same story at 2 other city high schools we visited during our fire safety investigation. What you are seeing is what a student attempting to escape from a fire at Riverside High School would encounter as he races down the stairs. This locked and chained fire door was one of 8 we found barred at the school. Only 2 doors were unlocked as emergency exits. At Bennett High School, the fire safety hazards were even worse. Not only were 7 of the 10 doors locked and chained, but heavy tables also blocked 3 stairwells. All the fire hazards we found were clearly in violation of the City Fire Prevention Code. That code states, during occupancy, no exit door shall be locked, bolted, or otherwise fastened or obstructed. We went to School Superintendent Eugene Reville for some action on this dangerous practice.
If this is occurring, we'll put an immediate stop to it, because no matter what reason an administrator gives for a certain condition, if it's in violation of the fire code, the results of what can occur are so serious that they cannot be tolerated. It will be stopped immediately.
Tomorrow, Superintendent Reville promises us an end to the safety hazards here.
Public servants are serving us.
It's hard to believe an everyday cup of coffee like this one can dramatically increase the cost of government. But thousands of taxpayers' dollars are wasted each year as government workers abuse their coffee breaks. This is how it's done. Eyewitness News went undercover for nearly 2 weeks at this Cheektowaga restaurant to show you just how widespread the goofing off has become. Every morning as we watched, Erie County Water Authority trucks rolled up and their crews went inside. The Water Authority workers routinely hid their trucks behind the restaurant to be inconspicuous. The driver of this truck pulled in last Thursday morning and enjoyed a 1-hour and 2-minute coffee break shortly after starting his shift. Each morning we timed workers routinely taking coffee breaks ranging from 30 minutes to 1 full hour. And to add insult to injury, the Water Authority workers further wasted the taxpayers' money by leaving the truck motors running while goofing off inside. The Water Authority workers weren't alone in their love of loafing. On 2 mornings, we timed New York State Department of Transportation workers taking 1-hour coffee breaks themselves. This morning, after watching the authority workers loaf for about 35 minutes, we went inside to talk to them. I've had 2 film crews following you guys for 10 days, and I'm here to tell you routinely take an hour coffee break and goof off. How about you?
Love to see myself.
You were here yesterday for an hour.
I got nothing to say.
Yeah, you're goofing off.
We're not goofing off.
Well, then how come you're sitting here for an hour on taxpayers' money?
An hour.
You were here an hour yesterday.
That's too bad. What are you, the Gestapo?
I have been in here the first time in about 5 days. So you better have some good film because my boss is right out there now and he just came to pick me up.
This man denied goofing off. This is the same man as we filmed him yesterday leaving the restaurant after enjoying a 40-minute coffee break. Moments after we broke up today's loafing session, the authority employees tipped their co-workers sipping coffee in a restaurant across the road. Those workers took off before we could talk to them about their coffee breaks on taxpayer time. Tomorrow, we're going to take you a few hundred yards down Union Road to the Holiday Showcase restaurant here and show you how Cheektowaga sewer maintenance workers goof off. Prescription drugs are being abused more and more these days by people on the Niagara frontier. These dangerous drugs are finding their way into our communities through a number of routes, including a few unscrupulous doctors who apparently specialize in dispensing prescription drugs for a price. It is a federal felony for doctors to prescribe controlled drugs without related medical care or examination. But what you are seeing right now are some of the amphetamine-type diet drugs we obtained easily during our 14-month undercover investigation. In a minute, we'll show you what a snap it was for us to get these uppers from doctors. But first, we want to tell you how the story began in June of 1979. That's when this woman told us about her experiences with one doctor.
I went into his office, and he asked me what I wanted. I said I wanted to go on a diet. And he said that he had been working with this one kind of pill. He never examined me, and wrote out a prescription, and asked me for $9, and said goodbye. That was it.
Did he ask you to take off your clothes or examine you in any way?
No, nothing. In fact, you're closer to me now than he was.
Were all the other women in the office also a little bit overweight?
No, not at all. In fact, I think I was the heaviest one there. They were really, you know, nice shape. But I think they were all getting diet pills, and they were young kids.
We heard similar stories about other physicians and decided to send 3 young women undercover to see just how easy it is to get prescription drugs from some doctors. Our undercover women made a number of visits to several doctors over the months. In 3 cases, they emerged with pills or prescriptions within minutes of their first visit. The amphetamine-type drugs the women received are among the most popular illegal street drugs. Sources tell us the uppers are favorites of young people who use them, sell them, or trade them for marijuana or stronger drugs. Tomorrow we'll tell you exactly how our undercover women obtain these amphetamine-type drugs. And we'll also introduce you to the 3 doctors who dispense the drugs with little or no medical examination. John Pauly for Eyewitness News.